What's up everybody? Welcome back to 16 Fix for the first ever Bargain Bin Bros video. In this series we're going to be taking a look at certain releases that are destined for the bargain bin and certain 16 figures that are already there. This series is not intended to cast any negativity towards any releases. I personally think most of what gets announced or released looks great. I collect Marvel, DC, Star Wars, one-offs, but you can't have everything. And so here we're going to highlight some potential deals you could get if you stay patient and you do your research. In the future, I'm going to be bringing on special guests to discuss certain releases, but today we're going to be talking about Thor from the upcoming Thor Love and Thunder. I personally think this one looks great, but there are a few caveats, so let's take a deeper dive. We're going to start with taking a look at some comps. For every release that I talk about on here, I'm going to mention a few figures it reminds me of for one reason or another, and we're going to take a look at where those figures ended up in the market. Now, this isn't scientific by any means and is mostly for fun, but we're going to see if we can draw any conclusions for what this may mean for the current figure that we're talking about. Now, the two that this Thor release reminds me of, first is Black and Gold Suit Spider-Man, and the next one is Bro Thor. Black and Gold Suit Spider-Man is a really interesting release because Hot Toys put it out even before No Way Home was in theaters. Now, this is a bit different because the figure was actually released versus this Thor being up for pre-order ahead of Thor Love and Thunder coming out, but I would use the same caution when approaching this figure. We don't know the significance of the Thor suit that we're seeing in the film, and so you kind of have to see to determine. We know there's going to be at least one other look in the Ravager look. There might even be another, so another reason to hold off and not make your decision right away. At $270, it was pushed out early, likely because the pre-orders were pretty soft, I would assume, and it's been on Sideshow's website for a while now. I will note that it is limit 1 per customer, so perhaps it was a pretty small batch that was produced, and I wouldn't be shocked to see this figure become a chase in the future, but also wouldn't be shocked to see it go on free shipping with discounts in the very near future, as there are many Spider-Men on the way. Next up we have Bro Thor. This feels like a figure you either love or hate. I really like this one. I have it in my collection, and at $274, it's feeling like even better value compared to this most recent Thor release. Now, I understand why some may say it's not really a definitive Thor because it's kind of a one-off look, but yeah, I think it looks great. Now let's talk about where it's at in the market. It's already at $5 shipping. This one feels like it's going to be around for a long time. And we know Thor is a very popular character, but much like many other Hot Toys now, there's a bit of oversaturation with certain characters with so many versions. So this one feels like it will sit, and that may have an impact on other future Thor releases. Okay, let's talk about this Thor release from Love and Thunder. First, the positives. I think the head sculpt looks really good. I've heard some speculation that it may be reused from a previous Thor release. I'd have to look into that a bit more, but I think overall it captures Chris Hemsworth likeness. I also think the helmet sculpt looks great. From the trailer, it looks kind of goofy, and I think that may be intentional, but it is a cool, close to comic book accurate look. I also like the coloration. It's different enough from kind of the black and red versions that I have. You know, I've got the Infinity War and I've got the Bro Thor, so this would be a bit of a departure. But overall, it does feel very similar to the other Thor releases, maybe a bit of a mashup or a hybrid of others that have come before it. And at $345, it really does feel like a stretch. We're just talking about the deluxe version. There is a standard that's $305, but it feels like this is the new price point for two head sculpts. I think the Doctor Strange figure came in at just under this as well. And I'm not a huge fan of that precedent. I think, Marvel's having a tough time right now in the market. Everyone's about Star Wars. And so, again, this one may sit just like the Doctor Strange, which we may cover in another video. And it's just asking a lot at $345. Wrapping up, I'll give some final thoughts on this Thor figure. And we're going to check in on the bargain bin barometer, which is so stupid, I know. So there's been some speculation that this Thor may use a different light up mechanism than the typical batteries that Hot Toys uses. If that ends up being the case, then this could be an innovative figure and something worth going after. But I'm going to stick to what I keep saying. Be patient. We don't know what Hot Toys will be doing 2 years from now. They may, throttle back on the releases to make things a bit more scarce, but I think they're going to continue to pump out stuff, and I do believe that Marvel will continue to sit, and I'm a big Marvel collector, but there's going to be good deals to be had. So I'm going to give this figure 5 out of 5 smiling Ant-Man head sculpts, which is an antiquated joke at this point, I know, but here I am. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. Comment down below if there are other figures you'd like me to cover, or special guests you'd like to see on the channel. And check out the rest of our content, such as the She Said No podcast, the podcast I do with my wife Gigi. Also, subscribe to our channel if you aren't already, and we will catch you on the next one.